Yo, Lee. I think we got another one. Sing it.
Thought you should know that I will never ever go away. So you'll never have to worry. As long as I care for the sparrows in the sky, you'll never have to worry. Though it may seem today that I'm so far away from you, have to fall, 'cause I'm right here before you call my name, and I'll come running to heal you, feel you, take you by the hand, and I'll show you the way to where I am. All you should know that I will never ever go away. The sparrows in the sky. Forget your yesterday, for when this night to brand new day gives way. Your life, your breath renewed, a ray of sun reminds you it's okay. You'll never be alone if you feel me. Take me into your heart, and we'll never, ever have to part. You should know that I would never, ever go away. As long as I care for the sparrows in the sky. To worry about a thing, don't have to worry about a thing. All you should know that I will never ever go. So you'll never have to worry. As long as I care for the sparrows in the sky. Oh yeah, don't worry. Said I never seen the righteous forsaken, his seed begging bread. So you'll never have to worry. Consider the lilies, how they grow. Whatever you need, your Father knows. Oh, come on, let me say. Oh, you'll never. Don't you know you never have to worry? Something special just for you. Only for you. come true. If you only knew. Why don't you? Can we go somewhere just me and you? Just the two. Don't delay. It's your day. Would it be okay? Just let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Different places that you've never been. Answer all of the questions you never asked. Oh, you never asked. If you would only take my hand. No more sorrow, no more pain. Never ever hurt again. I'll give you shelter from the rain. All I really want to say is I love you. Let me take you in my arms and just fly away. Ooh, never gonna let you go, baby. Don't wake up tomorrow may never come. Just be me and you. Nothing that we couldn't do. If you only do what I asked you to, I will make your dreams come true. If you only knew, if you only knew what I do for you. It'd just be me and you. Nothing that we couldn't do. If you only do what I asked you to, I would make your dreams come true. If you only knew. Just between you and me, this is nice. There's no tricks. Ooh, this love is just between. This is nothing. Ooh, there's no tricks. This love is just what do I have to do to let you know? Should I make your flowers grow? Should I make it rain or snow? Yeah. So many things I've done just for you. Forest green and ocean blue. Just to show my love is true. Just between you and me. This is not. There's no trace. This love is so real. Just between. This is not. There's no tricks. This love is so real, yeah. Don't you know I taught the birds to fly, hung the stars up in the sky? Can you guess the reason why? Can you take more than a passing glance? Nothing is by happenstance, yet you think it's just by chance. Just between you and me. This is not no tricks. This love is so real. Between you and me. This is not. There's no tricks. This love is so real. Oceans deep, real wide.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
Hey, everybody.
We need to apologize, first of all, because we had some issues just now with our technical stuff. We have some guests on tonight. This is our first time ever having this particular set of guests on here. And just so you know, they won't come on right this second, but they'll be on in a few minutes. And we're having some technical difficulties with being able to see them the same size as us.
Y'all. It happens.
And so we had to actually start late and everything. So sorry, Primo. Sorry, Horace, making y'all look everywhere. So we didn't actually start the countdown on time tonight. Because what happens is if we put the countdown on and we're still fooling with that, you'll be able to see all that in the background. We don't want y'all seeing that. So maybe next time.
Yes.
And all my tripods and stuff are downstairs to be able to do the Instagram part. So anyway, it's whatever. Next week, you'll be able to see all that stuff.
Yes,
we'll be ready.
Yes, we had some stuff going on.
Yeah. But it's fine. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all anyway, and we're glad that you are here. Thank you for joining us again for Ask John and April Live. This is the place where you can come and ask us your questions, or we answer them.
That works. We had a lot going on beforehand, so let's just breathe.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. We're good. We've started, so
all right.
it's good.
And see,
it's good.
okay, so listen, 1 week ago tonight, we were here, and while our show was going on, there were people storming the Capitol. Mm-hmm. And here we are a week later, and just before we got on here, the House voted to impeach Donald Trump for the second time. And so it's like they're waiting for our live to do all this important stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, but... we're living in unprecedented times.
What is that saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We really are. And
So
we're just glad to be alive.
That's why we have this background. That's why we have this background.
That's right. That's why we're here in D.C.
While this is still going on.
Once again.
Yes.
So thank you for being here. Let's say what's up to a few people. Of course, Sheldon is here. We put up Primo already, just, making fun of us as usual. We'll put up another one. I just want Tall to know. This is in my personal, professional, and family calendar. I'm glad it is, Primo. I'm glad it's in all your calendars. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need it to be. Deborah Salim, good evening. Congratulations on your 20th anniversary. Thank you very much.
Thank
you. And I'm glad you enjoyed the podcast. Thank you so much, Sister Salim, for joining us. I don't know if is this your first time here? Is your first time on? If it is, I think tonight's a good night for you to join. We've got some pretty good guests tonight that you're going to enjoy. Jocelyn, hey, how you doing? Have this in my alarm lineup. What? Alarm lineup? My goodness. Yo, this makes me feel good.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Man, this is great.
We better come correct tonight,
exactly.
then. You know what I'm saying?
You better get yourself together, all this technology issues.
Yeah, y'all. We going to make sure our stuff is on point from now on. So this is Deborah Salim's first time. Welcome. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're here for the first time. By the way, where are you? Are you in Greenville? Are you?
Yeah, where are you? Tell us where
you
are.
Where
if
you
this
coming
is your
from?
First time.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everybody that's first time is supposed to tell us where they're coming from.
Yes.
Definitely.
So I just want to remind everybody to follow us, Just John and April, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the places.
Yes.
Go ahead and subscribe. Do that now.
Yes.
If you have not, go to YouTube and subscribe.
Yeah, feel free.
We have a lot of people that watch our stuff and they're like, oh, no, I'm not following you. Or, no, I'm not subscribed yet.
Right,
And I'm
right.
like, but you watch and you're there all the time.
Right.
Go ahead and just press the button.
You might as well.
So go ahead and do that.
Now is your time.
And tonight's live is sponsored again by Artisan Spa Collection, okay, where they are creating wellness through natural skincare. And that is so true, because I feel like every time I, bring myself to my shower each night or morning or whatever, I'm using the Artisan Spa Collection, and it is amazing. Okay, it is amazing. And these natural soaps leave your skin soft and moisturized. I don't even have to put lotion on afterwards. Like, it is, it's no joke. It's serious.
And I've been using her stuff too. I told you last week already, I like the oatmeal bar. It kind of has a...
it's like an exfoliant scrub.
Yes, it has actual oatmeal in it and some other kind of spices in it or something. It just feels good on your back.
Let me tell you something. These soaps are so good. They smell delicious. I want to eat them. I told you, I just want to take a nice bite.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, when you get the soaps, they're made like it's a pie. Or like the shapes.
It does look appetizing.
Oh,
that's true.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. And it feels great. As I'm telling y'all, just order one and just see. Okay? Just test it out. But trust me on this.
April orders them joint in bulk, though.
Oh, I do.
I order in bulk. I
don't get one. So you need to just go ahead and trust me on this
one.
I wash my face, my hair, everything. Okay? These soaps are the bomb. So
yeah, they are. They're nice.
Yes, and the body butter and all the other little things that
she does have a lot of things. That's true.
That are just great.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
anyway.
so let's start by reviewing the poll question. So we had a poll last week, and let me do it now. So this is last week's poll. which we don't care about. We actually want this week's poll results.
Yeah,
And
so
here they
let's
are.
see. Okay.
And last week's conversation was very, it wasn't heated, but
It was interesting.
it was heated. Some people thought we were arguing on the show, which we were.
We weren't
Yeah, I'm saying?
arguing. We weren't arguing. That's just what we do. We have disagreements, you know?
It was a good argument, though.
Okay.
So anyway,
Whatever.
the first question
And
was.
by the way, you
yes.
said on the last one we disagree all the time, and I counted. I was like, you know what? Let me see if we really disagree all the time.
Okay.
And we disagree pretty often.
So I was right.
Like,
So
I was like, check.
So what
check.
you're so
I
what
was
you're,
like, wow.
so what you're saying is tonight you're Team John. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Don't lie.
Do not do that.
Anyway.
No, that's not what I meant by that.
Question number one. This week, and this is just so you know, if you follow our Instagram page, you will get these polls. That's where we put them up. And usually the polls are based on something that happened the previous week. It's either our episode live from Wednesday or our podcast episode on Friday. Whichever one we think sort of generates the most discussion or whatever, we'll put up the poll for that one. And so this week we decided to do it from last week's live, which we talked about really being honest and whether or not people really want honesty all the way. Is honesty really the best policy was the question. So anyway, here was the question number one. In relationships, it's more important to be polite or real, and 86% agree with me.
Agree with you. Listen, I need to clear my name on this. Okay, let's
Clear your name. Everybody
yes.
was there.
No.
We were all there.
No, just go ahead. Let's move to the next
Okay,
one.
the
Let's
second
move to- I
one.
have
True or false?
Okay.
I wish I could say what I want, how I want to my spouse. 57% said true, and 43% said false. So that was pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we wanted to know which part of the country were you coming from to kind of get an idea of, are just Northerners or East Coast people, are they more like this or whatever? Because obviously I'm from the North, April's from the South, and so that was sort of the delineating line in our relationship.
So most of the people in the poll from the East Coast.
How many?
Okay, so you had 15.
Okay.
You had North, you had 5.
Okay.
South, you had 10, and West Coast, you had 3.
Okay.
Okay, so
So then if most of the people that were polled that answered were from the East Coast, maybe this high number of 86% real over polite is why.
okay, I need to talk about this because I had some people.
Clear your name, boo.
Let me clear my name. Because I had some people to say, sorry, April, but, I am more on the real side. And I'm like, I did not say that I do not want real.
Right.
I did not say that I want polite over real. I did not say that.
I said it.
You said what?
I
That
said you want polite
yes,
over
and
real.
I didn't say that.
Right,
I did not agree with you.
Didn't,
So
again, she
people
didn't. Hold on,
misunderstood.
another disagreement.
Check, you're right. Okay.
But go ahead.
So tally mark. That's
People
what I'm saying.
misunderstood.
So I think people really misunderstood because what I was saying was you can be real politely.
Right.
I'd rather you be real
So
politely.
so you're saying you want real. You just
I
want to be polite.
real. Okay.
But
and let
hold
me,
on.
let me
But
tell
do you want real more than anything, so that if
I
the
do.
real comes across
Yes.
not polite, you still want
and
it?
that's what I was trying to explain.
Well, you never said that last week.
I did say that. I
Okay.
said that.
Maybe
I
you
said
did.
that I would rather
Hold on.
have.
Go back and watch it. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
but let me just say this. When people say love hurts,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
and that's why you should be able to take, love hurts. Well, you should give things in love, okay? So love hurts means, listen to me,
Right.
love hurts means that when it's said, because it is the truth,
Right.
and because it is real, it's going to hurt.
It may
shouldn't-
hurt.
Listen, it may hurt. Whatever.
Right.
It's going to hurt because
Okay.
it's real.
Okay.
It should not mean that the way that you give it is why it hurts.
Ah. Okay. So the reason it hurts should not be because you gave it in a hurtful way.
No, because
It
it's
should
supposed to be
be-
given in love.
Yes.
So
I agree
the
with that.
thing that hurts is the fact that you're being told the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts.
Right.
But it should not be that the way it's done hurts. So I think I've proven myself. I have cleared my name. I think that some will agree with me on that one.
I don't know that anyone's going to agree with you on any of this, actually. But, I'll give you that.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Anyway,
Okay.
so
I
we
just
love
had
you
to
guys.
clear that up.
I love you guys for being Team John this week and last week. I definitely won last
you're
week.
just going to rub that in,
I'm
aren't
just
you?
saying. I definitely won.
Were you this week? What do you mean this week and last
I'll
week?
be.
We haven't even had it today.
I'll be this week as well. That's really the point.
Okay.
I will be Team John
Okay.
this week.
All right.
Okay, guys. So what we want to do now is we really want to get to our interview tonight. Our topic tonight is really OG relationship goals.
Yes.
And the couple that we have on tonight has been married almost 45 years.
And they are definitely an OG couple.
No question. And by the way,
OG couple.
just so you know what we mean, those of you that are on here who use the term OG, you know what it means, original gangster. But the idea is that you are not necessarily old school, like out of touch. You are like, we're looking to you as like one of the ones who's been doing it right for a long time.
Original gangster.
You know what I'm saying?
You the one.
Exactly.
Like you
You
the
know what
one
I'm
we
saying?
look at.
So that's what we're talking about tonight.
Yes.
So that's what we got. Tonight we have a couple that I have known. I'm trying to think. I guess not quite my whole life. They've known me my whole life. At the beginning of my life, I didn't know anything because I was so little. But it's my parents.
They are OG
John and
couple
Giovanna
goals.
Nixon.
OG couple right here. The OG.
So first of all, Mom and Dad, can we do a quick sound check? Just tell us hi and where you're from and where you live and how long you've been married so we make sure we can actually hear you.
You know, the fact of the matter is that babies are aware of others before they're aware of themselves. So
So you're saying I knew you before I even knew me.
Comes later.
I didn't know that. Well, thank you for telling me that.
So Horace said
So
y'all. Horace said y'all are thugs. By the way, he's asking. They thugs? Yeah, they thugs.
Okay, so
We don't intimidate anybody.
say it again, Dad. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Say it again.
No, we embrace that. We thought we're okay with that.
You okay with being thugs? Okay.
Good.
Okay, well, let's start just by letting you introduce yourselves to the audience. Tell us how long you've been married. Well, tell us your names, first of all. I got you all on the thing, but Mom, people are not going to be able to read that, so you need to tell them how to pronounce your name. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, tell us how long you dated.
We want to know
Okay.
that, too. Yes, how long did you date before you got married?
And how old were you when you got married?
Yes, we know all that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm John, and my wife is Giovanna, and the name is not phonetic, obviously, but I tell people that when I learned how to spell it, that's when she knew I was serious about the relationship.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
That's Giovanna. It's a Native American name, and so phonetically it doesn't make any sense. And you can imagine, all through her life, all through school, she's been called just a multitude of names as teachers try to figure that out. The most interesting was what they call you?
I had a teacher in second grade who insisted on calling me Divine.
Divine with a D?
Divine. And I would say, every time she came to my name, I knew because she was trying to pronounce it once again. And I would say, my name is Giovanna. And I would say, Giovanna. And she would say, okay, Divine. And I was like, and even the children in the class would be like, something's wrong with the teacher's hearing,
Clearly.
Not say divine.
I wonder if it was just her hearing.
I don't know.
Maybe so.
She may have
Maybe
some
she
other
really
deficiencies, too.
maybe she thought I was divine. That's what I've chosen to believe all these years.
That's not it, Ma. Okay, so how long y'all been married, and how long did you date before you got married?
So our dating life had a start and stop to it.
Mm-hmm.
We probably started dating at 17 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had a
Seriously,
breakup.
at 17.
Yeah, then we had a breakup, and then wait a minute, because we got rebaptized at 18.
Right.
So our dating got serious at 18,
Okay.
and we broke up and got back together again when I was 20, and we got married when I was 22. Giovanna was 21.
Mm-hmm.
So we started early, and both families knew each other because two of her brothers and my brother and I sang in a quartet together. So we would go to the house and have rehearsal and all the time. So the families knew each other all along before we even started dating. So we known each other a long time.
But I met him when I was 12.
Why are you trying to steal our story all the time? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, but he's been sprung since he was sprung. I didn't really, he was like, man, and
I don't know about all that.
So I need a little more detail about this breakup here.
So
Okay.
hold on, dude. That's interesting though, because I feel like before we talk about the breakup, I feel like we need to establish, why it is that you guys are OG couple goals. Because you didn't tell us how long you've been married yet. I said it, but I might be wrong. How long have you been married?
It's 44 years.
44.
It'll be 45
44.
in August, right?
August will be 45.
Okay. And what I want to know is, during your marriage over these 45 years, basically, have you found that it was pretty easy? Was it hard at the beginning and it got easier? Are there certain things that never got easier and you're still dealing with? Like, give us some of that so we can glean some,
You wanna go
serious.
into that right now?
Yes.
Well, we
All
still
of
want
the
to know
above.
about the breakup.
Well, I'm saying, but look, I want to establish first that there are a couple worth listening to.
Okay,
And
I'm sorry.
then we can say
All
later
right,
on
don't
that
get
you
too
broke
detailed
up.
on this. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm getting excited.
Well, I think Javon agreed with me. The easy hard thing is relative. It depends on what we were going through at the time. Because we've had some easy times and we've had some hard times. But let me just say this: in the hardest of times, I don't think Javon is the same way, never considered breaking up, even in the hardest of times.
No.
I never thought about breaking up. I don't mean divorcing, I mean even separating.
Oh wow.
It never came to that. But we had our hard times. We've had marital counseling a few times. We've had to do that a few times. And so we've had our hard times. We've had easy times as well, with things just sailing along, having a good time every day. So, there's ups and downs like anything else.
I never knew about the counseling thing. I want to
You didn't.
No, I want to push that. I want to push that a
How
little
did I
bit
know about that and you didn't?
because mom talks to you. You know what I'm saying?
We did marital counseling while you were still living with us. We did marital counseling
Exactly.
before.
Oh, what?
We did marital counseling in California. How old were you in California? 10, 12?
Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever. I did, but I wouldn't have known. Yeah, I mean, the counselor didn't come to the house. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. How would I know that then? You didn't come back and say, "Hey guys, we're back from counseling." So here's the question though: did it get? Most people feel a certain way about counseling. They feel like,
Especially black men.
no question.
Yeah.
So did it? Was it like it was that bad? You had to go to counseling, or why'd you guys do that?
And was it hard to get Dad to
agree
go,
to do
to
it?
agree to do
Right.
it?
It was. I did have to talk him into it, and initially, he was no, we don't need that. We do counseling for married couples ourselves. So what are we doing? Let's practice some of the things that we teach. But oftentimes, if you think about it, you go to a beautician and her hair looks horrible. You go to a,
Yes,
know,
right.
That's a good point. In fact, the best barber is the one with the worst haircut, usually.
So most times the professional, they're the ones that's neglecting the very thing that they're teaching. So I talked him into it. It didn't take me long to talk him into it, but I talked him into it. And once we got started, I mean, it was really liberating for me. And I think for Dad too. Was it?
Now, hold on. Let's get. Someone just asked in the comments, was counseling popular at that time period? And I didn't think it was. We're talking about the late '80s here, right?
Into the
Early
90s.
90s. Early
89,
90s.
90, 91, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, not on black people. It wasn't popular, and I think conservative Christian blacks that much less popular because conservative Christians think if I go to counseling, my faith is weak and I'm not a real Christian. So
Right.
among our particular group, even less popular. But the other thing about it with me has always been finding a counselor that I really think is doing us any good. I guess I'm hard on counselors.
Yes.
I saw your face, Mom.
It's very hard for Dad. And so, when we finally found this person, he was so amazing that, we didn't have to, how many times did we go? 3?
Yeah,
Two?
we didn't go that often. Yeah.
2 times,
And
maybe 3 times?
that fixed whatever
Right.
issue you guys were having at that time.
Yeah. And one of the things, can I tell him what the things he told me?
Sure.
Yeah. One of the things the counselor told me was, why don't you fight him back?
Wow.
Really?
Yes, he did. He said, why do you give up?
He said you're like a little girl. He said you're like a little girl.
What? And so did you like that, Dad? Did you like that he said that?
Right.
Yes, he did.
Well, first of all, I never thought she was like a little girl. He didn't know her like I knew it. I probably wasn't a little girl.
Right.
But Hey, I can take a good fight. I'm fine as long as it's fair fighting. I like fighting if it's a fair
He
fight.
loves fighting.
No, if it's a fair fight.
That's true.
Yeah, he rolled that over to this one over here.
When it's a fair fight, you're not trying to beat down your opponent. It's a fair fight. You're trying to get your quarter out there. They're trying to get theirs out there.
Right.
Let's hear what you're really thinking. Let's put on out there. And then, at the end, we'll figure out where we need to make adjustments or whatever.
So
But I
I'm
learned
sorry.
to
Go ahead,
fight.
man. What you say, Mom? What you say?
I said, I learned from that counselor. He said, you need to fight. And I said, okay.
I always grew up feeling like you gave as good as you got. I never thought
You're right.
I would have never
You're
described it that way. I thought
No.
so. Maybe not.
You're right. You're right. Now, honestly, the time when Mom was kind of take a blow and don't give one back was before you were born. When we first got married, those first couple of years, she was very timid, very shy. She was very unsure of herself.
We don't know.
her
We don't know
self-
that.
We don't know that,
Mom. We
Mom.
don't know
I
that
never
one.
met that woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who
We
you're
don't know
talking
who
about.
she is.
No, you don't know
You
that.
don't know
Mom.
that person.
Listen, when I was in early school, like kindergarten, the teacher had to, pull teeth to get me to talk. I would not talk. And I was very shy up until I married Dad. Really, I didn't say much.
Wow.
I would. My brothers and sisters would have to do a whole lot to get me to even get up and sing with them. I was very, very shy. So, I think I've grown out of that a little bit.
Yes,
I do too.
I think so. So I have to pivot back
Go
to
ahead.
because a lot of people want to know how did you when you were dating go through a breakup and then get back together like
Right.
that. You don't hear that really often that people break up and then they get back. I mean, you do, but it's like off and on, and then they break up for good.
And I think you always assume a couple that's been married 45 years, they never broke up. They never had any problems.
Exactly.
But
You're thinking they never broke up.
yeah. So you gotta tell us
No,
more.
what-
You brought it up, so you have to share it now. You didn't tell everybody.
Well, let me say this before you talk. We liked each other for a while
Sorry.
before we turned 18. Before we turned 18, it was never, really a couple. We liked each other. But when I turned 18, Giovanna was 17. In fact, on the day of my 18th birthday, we both got rebaptized. We had our adult conversion. And on my 18th birthday, that day, we got baptized in the same evangelistic meeting.
Wow.
Oh.
I didn't know it
That
was your
was-
birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the day we started getting serious because then, we're on a path now where we're thinking about, let's get serious about our lives. And now let's stop dating around. Let's be with somebody that's for real. So that's when our relationship got serious.
Then he decided to go into the ministry. So I said, I was always laughing and making jokes, always laughing at times when I shouldn't be laughing, things like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
one day I'm laughing with him and I said, I think we should break up. You're going into the ministry and, things are, I'm not really there yet all the way Christian. I'm a Christian, but,
I didn't say all that,
but anyway, so
but you didn't explain like that because you were fooling around.
I was fooling around. I was kidding.
Mhm.
And he said, I think you're right.
Oh.
And I was like, I was only kidding. And he said, no, you're right. And he left my house that night and I was bawling,
Wow.
crying. I was probably 18,
No, maybe 19.
19,
Because I was about to go.
maybe.
real quick.
I don't know. But we
So
were
you thought
young.
that was a
And-
lob from the Holy Spirit, and you're just like, oh, let me just go ahead and yam this joint. That was you. Oh,
But
okay,
he took
yeah.
me
there you
seriously
go.
and we broke up.
But that was you just joking around like you normally do.
Right.
Oh.
But I had been thinking about it before then. I'd actually been praying about it because what was happening with us is, in our relationship is, we're getting closer and closer. We're really falling in love. And what happened is our relationship started to get a little physical.
Mm.
It never got physical all the way, but we started getting a little too touchy and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going home every night feeling guilty. And I'm saying to myself, I'm going to the ministry. I can't be going to ministry like this. So I'm really thinking about breaking up. I really am. Before I go to school, I'm going to think about breaking up.
You should
No,
see the
actually-
emojis.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
are-
yeah,
you
yeah,
should
yeah.
see-
Look at the screen, Dad. Look at the screen. Look at the emojis people are putting up there. Camilla said earlier, shy? I would have never thought that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that kind of thing up there. Anyway.
Very shy.
But let me talk about that for a moment because I don't want to, and I want to be real with your audience. You know, we're not intimidated anymore. We've been married 44 years. We're not intimidated by anything anymore. But you know something? When you're single and in love, you're going to have your moments. Now, if you're trying to have a relationship with integrity, you're trying to say, let's not get intimate till we get married. You put that in your head. You agree to that. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to live up to it. You are struggling.
Right.
You're having a hard time. You're struggling. You know?
In fact, we teach our couples today, if one of you is not interested in the other person sexually, you need to rethink that.
Right. Yeah.
I agree. Seriously.
Your fiance didn't want no sex.
Right.
Exactly.
Again. It should be hard.
That should be all the
Right. If it's not difficult, you might need to rethink that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
People are agreeing with you, by the way, wholeheartedly. So the question is, what got you back together? And did you pray about that too?
And Mom, did you want to get back together? Like after
he done dumped
he broke up with you,
right?
You know, because he kind of broke up with you. If you think
Excuse
about
me.
it.
Well, first of all, we were really madly in love from early on. I once we started liking each other, we fell in love for real.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what happened. When I saw this man right here from afar, I don't know if you've ever been, well, of course you've been to Oakwood. When he was walking from Edwards Hall to Carter Hall, and I saw him out of the back window, I couldn't believe my eyes. I said, he's coming towards Carter Hall. What is he coming to Carter Hall to do? He's not coming to see me because I'm not his girlfriend. I went crazy.
So you're trying to figure out which girl's he coming to see?
Exactly. I said, I can't take it if he comes to Carter and he pages another girl. Mm. What am I going to do? I ran. I had an anxiety attack. I ran to the married students' apartments to where my brother and his wife were living. And I told him, I said, I just saw John and I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to see him. I don't know if he's going to reject me, if he's going to say hi, what's going to happen. My brother said, are you going to run from John all semester? And he said, you go right back. So by the time he reached Carter Hall, I was back.
Hold on. You ran while Dad's walking and you could see him. You ran to the married to the apartments and came back before he got back.
Y'all know how Oakwood is set up. That's some serious running. That's some love right there.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not joking. And Dad will agree with this. When we finally, we hadn't seen each other for, I would think about 2 months maybe. We hadn't seen each other all summer or whatever.
At least 3 months, yeah.
When we saw each other, I'm not kidding. You really could see electricity going from one of us to the next.
Wow.
Wow.
It was like my hair was standing up with the electrical.
Oh,
and he said something to me. Oh my goodness. He actually came to see me.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. Oh, and anyway, the rest of
it wasn't some other girl there.
What was going on through you in your mind, Dad, when you were walking over there? Were you like, I hope she's there. I hope she, is not moving on, has moved on and found somebody else?
Now, that's funny. And I don't want to sound like, I'm bragging, but the truth is, it never crossed my mind. No, it's not
you
that.
Was a G. I know you was a G.
He's the G in OG.
Oh, yeah. He's the G.
That's not why. Here's my reason why. When I broke up with Giovanna, until I saw her again, I never dated another girl. I went to Oakwood to be serious about the ministry. I was not looking for girls.
No, hold on. First of all, that whole statement you just made should have started with, hear me now. Hear me now. That was one of those statements. You know what I'm saying? I almost
said it. Yeah, that's, when I start leaning forward, that's the next thing that goes out of my mouth. And it's not that they weren't nice girls there. It's not that girls didn't like me there.
They
But
did.
I went to Oakwood to study ministry. I'm serious. I want to focus my life on one thing. First of all, I didn't feel worthy of going to the ministry, number one. So I always felt like I was trying to get up to this feeling. And so I wasn't thinking about dating girls at all until from a distance, I laid eyes on Devon again. And I was with a friend of mine, a close friend. We were walking together. We were going to Blake Center. I went on to Carter Hall. I said to him, man, there's that girl. And I said, if I get back with that girl again, I'm going to marry her.
Wow.
Wow.
That day, I'm going to marry that girl. And I went to...
When you got to Carter Hall, was Mom out of breath? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not at all.
She hadn't checked in. She was standing with her suitcase. She hadn't even checked in yet.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know that.
And everything.
I took her bags to the room. Man in the hall. Carter Hall. You said man in the hall.
Yeah.
The girls were not you come out. Man in the hall. I took her bag and took her to her room. Hey, Javon, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
You didn't hug me.
Like a whole friend thing.
No, you didn't. You did not hug me.
Okay, we shook her. Hey,
You don't remember hugging her?
We did not touch each other. There's no way we touched.
You,
We did.
You would have
you
remembered
couldn't
that.
touch. You couldn't touch.
No.
That was it for me though. From that day, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you guys.
Then
have
one
a
day he decides that
No, we started going to church together then.
Yeah.
I stopped by Carter and pick her up. We go to church. Wednesday night, I stopped by Carter and pick her up. We go to prayer meeting. We started hanging out together like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what you want to say now? Then one day,
this brother, I'm like, he's leaning in to get a kiss. And I'm like, I don't think so. If you kiss me, I'm your girlfriend.
Wow.
So-
That's what you said?
And hold on. Dad didn't respond. He didn't say okay. He just kissed her.
Wait.
I was just kidding. Is that what happened?
You gotta say that again. You gotta say it again, just in case somebody missed it. Say it again.
What is that?
You said he came in to kiss you, and what did you say to him?
No, we're
I'm
standing.
leaning in.
We're standing and we're having a conversation as
No,
usual.
I'm dropping you off. I was
we-
dropping you off.
Yeah, because we had good conversations, and he's dropping me off at Carter Hall. So he's starting to lean in, like he's expecting a kiss.
And you
or
said,
something.
And you said, hold up.
I said, excuse me. Excuse me. I said, if you kiss me, I'll never forget that. Honey.
I want to kiss my girlfriend.
He
I
said,
went right on and got
That's
me
what I said.
a
He
kiss.
didn't.
And
He
you
didn't say
went
nothing.
right in and you didn't even say nothing?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yo,
OG. I'm
that's-
trying to tell you, son.
Seriously. No, that's serious OG stuff, man. That's like Denzel, man.
Right, exactly. Oh man.
Wow. Okay, so you have people saying that they need to lie about their stories about getting together now because this is just the story. Okay.
Sheldon said his story is whack.
His story's-
Primo said he should start his story with when one day I was in Paris. You know what I'm saying? You got to come up with something better now because the stories are whack in comparison.
That is a great love story. Now let's get into some nitty right now, okay? Because we hear about this great love story, how you guys came together. You broke up and then you found each other again, right? And Dad was just a G at it, and then you're married and you're going through your marriage. Do you have that disagreement that ended up coming up at some point that just stayed around for 45 years?
Yeah.
Or 44 years.
Is there something you have not been able to outrun?
Right. That you can't, right.
No matter how fast you are. You know what I'm saying?
That just keeps coming up, and how do you deal with that thing that keeps coming up, or things?
And maybe we're making a bad assumption. Maybe there aren't things like that. Maybe you get to 45 years and you're over everything and you're good at everything in your marriage now.
Right. Because we know we have our thing.
Right.
And it hasn't gone away after 20 years.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's a big negatory. There's always something. And I tell couples when we pre-counseling, I said, look, you need to know your person, know what they're and you got to decide right now you're going to be able to live with those shortcomings.
mm-hmm.
I said, don't get married if you say, I'm going to live. Now, they may get better, but say right now, I'm going to live with those shortcomings in that person. And then go ahead and get married. Don't expect that they're suddenly going to become a different person. because there's always going to be some things. We've had our thing, down through the years.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to share the thing. We're not trying to get you to tell us
but
what
we
the thing
just
is.
want to know.
I share one thing that I
Okay.
think that would be helpful for everybody, and I think it's a thing that we all have, and that is for Dad and I, our arguments always end with the idea about, are you listening? It's about listening.
Yeah.
Are you listening? How many times we've said it today? You're not listening to me.
And you didn't hear me.
Oh,
You
you're
didn't hear me.
still saying I didn't hear you.
That's not what I said. You didn't hear me.
I'm telling you, every single argument, we're saying those words. You're not listening. I am listening. Well,
You know what part of that is? You know what part of that is? And you're probably there for 20 years. But you get arrogant in your relationship and you think you know what the other person's thinking.
Right.
So you don't
Yep.
listen.
That's true.
True.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
That kind of
Back
thing
down.
happens.
Good. And
that kind of thing
especially if they start their sentence similarly to the way that they're going to go with a particular argument, you
Right.
start
You
finishing the
just
sentence in your own
finish it,
mind.
yeah.
You're not even letting them finish it.
And so you don't even listen.
You turn it off right away. Yeah, you say, "Here we go."
So that when you start disrespecting the other and saying, "Oh, I know what you're gonna say," and and most times we don't take the time to really listen to what the other person is saying, putting ourselves in the other person's shoes, and that is the crux of our disagreement, and still is.
Wow.
And I think it will be until Jesus comes, because Dad's very disagreeable.
No. There's really one more thing. There's one more thing that's been from the beginning, and it'll last till the Lord Jesus comes. It's not. I don't think it's as big an issue with her as me, and that is, my wife is not good with time. She's not good with time.
You're better, but that's not what he said though.
Yeah, it's still not good though. Still not good.
Yeah,
She's
right.
better.
But see,
If 10 is good,
but Dad doesn't realize he's not good with time either.
It's not true.
It depends on the thing. Okay, if we're supposed to be going shopping to the mall at a certain time, he's not going to be on time.
got it. Okay.
Well, I don't want to go at all.
Okay. We both have issues with time depending on what it is we're going to do.
Wow.
So the level of
Okay,
importance,
okay.
whatever the level of importance is for either one of you, will determine whether or not you're timely with that thing.
Yes.
However, having said that, here's another thing. Miles not good at calculating how much time things are going to take.
Right.
So she'll say, I'll be ready in 5 minutes, and she's ready 20 minutes later.
Right.
And that's regularly happens.
Listen, that is absolutely okay. So when it comes to the ministry, Dad will say, "I'm going to be in that meeting. I'll be out in 15 minutes." 2 hours later.
Yes, now that's true.
So what you're saying is we
I have
calculate
to
time,
agree
same
with
thing.
that. Now you know that is the truth. And look, Dad is denying.
Right.
Nobody wants to admit.
I'm going to prepare. I'm going to prepare a little bit. I'm going to take about 15 minutes to work on my sermon.
Mm-hmm.
3
3
hours later.
Right.
I'm just saying. Same
So,
thing.
Those are good points.
So are you proving that something as little as, if you just say it, it doesn't sound like a big deal, being on time in marriage can become a huge issue throughout the years that turns into, pretty heated arguments because it's marriage.
That's true. That's true.
Everything's magnified in marriage, and
Everything.
it is. And in marriage, everything the other person does is taken to heart, more than if it was a stranger or a distant person, and that magnifies it all the more, because now she's late because she don't really care about me. See, now there's the next level.
Yeah. And you don't want to go there.
When that
Oh,
never really
man.
entered her mind, but that's how you took that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Haven't we had that multiple
One of
times?
the things I've actually done deliberately, because I realize, I think actually I'm very good at time, in my opinion.
That's part of the problem right there.
Okay, So here's what I've done. I actually about a year, I guess about 4 years ago, I decided to put a clock in the bathroom because oftentimes I'd be in the bathroom, getting myself together, and I'm not really, and he's right. I'm not really, paying attention to how much time it's actually taking me to do a small thing. So I've started about 5 years ago, looking at the clock and saying, okay, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to do that, 6 minutes to do that, 7. And it really has helped me a lot with my time. It has.
Which shows that mom cares, right? Does that show you that there's...
Well, it's not.
Yes.
It's not that I really didn't think she cared. Just in that moment, because I'm angry, I take it there in my head. It's not that I really don't think she cares. But I'm mad right now, so I'm taking it all the way. This is happening because you don't care.
Oh man.
Okay, so real quick, Tina Englund, one of our viewers, said, "I'm so glad you guys are sharing your story. More of our OG couples should share their stories so the young generation can see every relationship goes through something." That was kind of the idea of tonight's episode, and we kind of want to ask you a question about that. Is there any advice that you would give to young couples? We need to wrap up, by the way, because it's 9:45. We got people that go to bed early.
Well,
But
I don't know if I want to go there.
You don't want to go with the advice? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, I know we're on a time thing.
We are.
But
And see, she doesn't care about time either. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Anyway, go ahead, man. I'll save my question from Tina for last, but we'll do it after this one. Go ahead.
Okay, this is not the same thing, but what do you see that young couples go through these days, like modern couples, I would say, that you feel like they shouldn't have to go through? Like you see something what couples are, and you guys talk to couples, they come to you. Do you feel like, man, they don't even have to go through that, but these young couples, Is there
any attitude that they have that they bring to it when they come into it that maybe
you feel is more of a
if
modern
you didn't have that attitude,
couple thing?
You would never have these problems or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if you even think of it like that.
Well, I'm thinking of just the opposite side of the coin. And I think couples today, especially those that we talk to, they are more open to sharing the load. They're more open to, now I don't know what happens once they get married, if they really do that.
Right.
But in the counseling, they seem to be very
partnership.
Partnership. You have your career, I have my career. Back in the day, a women career, what's that?
Right.
So, that's something that they're not fighting the way I had to fight to get my career in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not really. But
you're just talking about from a societal standpoint.
That's what I'm talking about. From a societal standpoint, back in the day when women didn't have careers, and we stayed home with the children and that sort of thing. But I think the positive side of today's couples is that they seem to be more open to being respectful of the other person's career. They share the load. You hear so much more now about stay-home dads. So I think there's a lot of good that the young couples today can show us older people.
Okay.
That's really, really good.
First of all, y'all live alone. Who is that?
That's Claire. Claire's over. You have her.
Tell me to drink some water.
Thank you, Claire.
Hello, Claire.
So my sister is visiting in town apparently, and just gave some water. She must have heard Mom's throat scratchy or something.
She's probably watching it. She's probably
I'm
online
sure.
watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Claire's very thoughtful.
Another thing, and I think it's related to what Giovanna just said, is that today's, I would say, minority couples have more pressure from expectations because many more of them, at least that we know, are operating and living in another element of socioeconomics. When Giovanna and I grew up, everybody we knew was below what we would call the middle scale lifestyle. We were not considered middle class. We were below middle class, socioeconomically. Now,
you were just above the poverty line, right?
No. Poor people don't have clothes to wear, and they go to bed hungry every night. We were not poor.
Yeah.
Okay.
we were just less than middle class.
Okay.
But when you start climbing up that ladder and you start getting into pressure professions, and you start having that brings pressures into relationships that we did not have when we were starting out, because those social expectations weren't on us to that degree. You know, when Javon and I went to college, our parents could not give us one penny to help us get through college, and we didn't expect anything from them because they did not have it.
Right.
You know, she had 7 siblings, I had 4, and we were good to get through church school. But that was it. We were on our own after that. But today, a lot of these young couples have a lot of those pressures that come from being upwardly mobile and having careers that put pressure on you. You got to come home and you got to bring work home.
Right.
We didn't have it.
Oh, that's so true.
That's a good
wow,
point.
that is a good point.
So are you suggesting then that that people need to prepare differently for that? They need to be more aware of that? I'm sure you're not suggesting that we should go back and say, you know, let's go back and just live on the poverty line. Or maybe you are. Maybe our relationships would be so much better. You know what I'm saying? what should couples be doing to prepare themselves for those pressures? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and from childhood, really, your parents should start getting you ready. For example, at the expectations now that come with the visibility of Black leaders in society and in the community. When we were growing up, there was no such thing as a Black person in Senate or House of Representatives.
No way.
True.
But now the expectations are higher because there is this standard that's been set within the Black community by people who have reached a more visible leadership role. So now that gets translated to your level, you know, especially when you're just starting out.
Yeah.
And the expectations that come with growing up in the different kind of socioeconomic class. And that puts pressure on marriages. And one I'll mention quickly, and I won't linger on it. When we were coming up, there was no such thing as a pastor's wife saying, I'm staying here because of my job. You go ahead and move to California.
Right. That's true.
And you see that a lot.
Right.
Wives didn't have careers like that. They didn't have careers like that they had to worry about. You know, you were a nurse, you were a teacher, you just go get another job.
You can get a job easily no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
Those pressures are different now. They're totally different.
Wow.
Wow.
As
So,
you know, I have left many a beautiful job.
Mm-hmm.
yes, you have.
It's true. Some
Yeah,
real good
but
ones.
you know what? I look back on it
Forfeited
and
retirement and all that.
Yeah.
Right. But God has taken care of us. He still is. And I would, if I had to do it again, I'd do the same.
I sure hope so.
Yes.
45 years in.
I'm following this brother right here.
Almost said something else. She switched to brother.
Almost. Remember we were on live. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was a close one. Disaster averted.
So what's one of the biggest mistakes? And I know I'm going on. People say keep going.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you know,
it's your show, girl.
you know,
know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, there's some good stuff.
Well,
We got to
man.
get as much as we can in. Okay. So what's one of the biggest mistakes that couples make early on in their relationship that you feel like if they could avoid those mistakes, you know, it could actually keep them from having so many deep issues that end up coming up, you know, later on in their marriage. So what would you say is one of the biggest mistakes that couples make at the beginning of their marriage?
Maybe even you guys made them.
Right.
Dishonesty.
And so you know.
What you say?
Dishonesty. Dishonesty. It's hard to regain trust.
Yes.
You know, if you lie or, you know, lying. Oh,
Yeah.
Or hiding.
that is
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to get back from a dishonest deed or
That's true. From deception,
deception.
hypocrisy.
That's
You lose trust, and it's hard to regain. But very quickly, another one is, and it's every generation, another one is financial debt.
Wow.
Yes.
You got to have everything at one time. You
Mm.
just got married. You go into unnecessary debt, and that can hang over you for years.
Yes.
And bring
Wow.
pressures into your home that did not need to be there. If you just wait,
Mm-hmm.
just wait and get it little by little instead of trying to get it all at one time. That could be a big issue.
Yeah, don't do like I did one day. I was telling John and April this story the other day.
So funny.
John was 3 months old, and John and I had been married two years and something, and I took him for a walk in the baby carriage.
Where were we living?
And-
Brooklyn, right?
we were living in Brooklyn, and I took him for a walk in the baby carriage, and I left home with good intentions. With good intentions. But here again, my husband gave me a credit card, and I believe I used the credit card to do what I did. and I was not working. John was the only one working. We were newly married, no debt really, but I was quickly, changing that.
Right.
So here we are, walking. I walked to Flatbush Avenue that has a whole lot of stores and stuff. And so I walked into the store that said it had TVs on sale. And I was like, let me just walk in here. Let me just see. I walked in and I walked out with the television.
Please tell everyone how you got that television.
You walked.
Please tell.
I put the man in the store helped me put the TV on the carriage. In fact, as I'm walking home with John, I'm looking in all the way home, looking over the TV to see if he's okay in there. And when he got home and saw that television, he was like, "What?
I'm wondering
how did you get a television home?"
Now, this is back when the TV had that big tube.
The big CRT TVs. They're heavy.
This was a 19-inch big old tube TV. It was about this wide. And this thing's sitting up in the house when I get home.
How did I do that? But anyway,
how'd you get it upstairs? I mean, how'd you get? First of all, I'm trying to think of this.
We lived in an apartment, so I got.
It was a high rise with an elevator, right?
Oh, elevator.
Okay,
that's
just making sure.
But she had to take it off the carriage and set it up herself. There was
That's
no
what I'm
man
saying.
help.
There was no problem. That was no problem for me. None at all. None at all. But the point is, that was the start of our decline with debt. And so, fast forward 10 years down the road, and John says to me, "This is ridiculous. I'm cutting up all the credit cards." And I was like, "No." There was a big argument right there. You can't tear up my card. Da 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 da. He tore them up and got us back on track, and we have never looked back. We just don't believe in credit cards. I mean,
we went years with no credit cards. Years.
Wow.
And so it's just here lately that I have one, and every time I use it, I pay everything.
Oh,
and then
that's right. Which is how
I never pay interest. But you learn those lessons early on in life, but we didn't have to go through that if we had a little knowledge. We didn't have parents to teach us about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't really teach us.
They didn't know.
But before I ask the last question, which is about the advice that you would give to young couples, I want to take a couple questions from the audience, and there's one. One question is, do you consider when you don't have self-awareness that falls under dishonesty? In other words, is it only intentional dishonesty that you would say is one of those things that sort of messes with your relationship? You talked about one of the biggest things, the hardest thing to come back from is dishonesty. I guess she's saying, what if you're not aware that you're being dishonest? I think, Dad, you said something about deceptions. That sounds a little bit different.
Yeah, dishonesty. When I talk about dishonesty, I'm talking about deliberate deception. If you're not aware, you don't
think that has the same impact. You don't think that's the same impact on the relationship, right?
I don't think so.
Right.
But now here's the other side of that, and I agree. But once you become aware, do you own up to it?
Wow, that's the question. That is a good question.
Taking responsibility is very important.
Okay. So one more person along those lines. How do you counsel on regaining trust? How would you tell a couple they can actually try to regain their trust?
Well, first of all, the person who has been the victim of it.
Okay.
The victim of it, you have to allow them time to forgive you. You have to allow them the time to grieve the loss of that thing that you've taken from them. And you've got to just own it and say, "I'm sorry for," not just "I'm sorry." I'm sorry that I so and so and so. And really every day try to make it up.
Right. And then give them time to forgive you.
Time. Yeah. And you can't say how much time that is.
Right. That's what makes it difficult for some people.
Yeah, that is hard.
Yeah.
You can't sit. Yeah.
Thought you were gonna say something, Dad.
Well, you gotta. I'm thinking about the other side now. She's talking about the victim side, which is true. The victim has to forgive, but even if they forgive, they need time to heal. But on the other side, the guilty party has to say, okay, I now have to go overboard to prove I'm trustworthy again. I have to do more than what's required of me.
Right.
More than what's required of me to prove that I can be trusted again. I got to put myself on that kind of schedule. And I got to stay with that for a while too, until we can regain that trust.
So if I ever have the attitude of, man, you should be over it by now, that might erode the trust again.
Right.
Oh, that's a setback.
That's a setback. Definitely.
Oh yeah, part of the penalty for your dishonesty is that you have to wait. You
Yeah.
gotta be patient.
Okay.
You got to wait.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so
Good
that, so,
stuff.
so then give us that last one. The last question would be: is there a piece of advice that you would give to young couples? You guys are OG couples, been doing it for 45 years now, and
Yes.
looking back, you gave us some good nuggets on debt. You talked about dishonesty. Is there anything that you would give as a piece of advice to a young couple that you think would help them? Maybe an essential thing.
Like, essential thing that can last throughout the years that will keep them going. Keep them strong.
And this is going to sound like a cliche. Sound like a cliche, but it really, really is true. And that is develop a joint devotional life.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
you got your own private devotional life, but you got to have a joint devotional life.
Okay.
You got to have, if not every day, at least a few times a week, where even if it's just 10 minutes, right? You spend some time in devotion and you spend some time in prayer. And our thing is, don't just pray for yourself, have a prayer list. So together we're working a prayer list. It's like a mission. It's like a joint mission now. I got my names I'm putting on because this happened. She got her name she's putting on the list because this happened. And we're joining together to pray for these people. Something happened recently, again, I know our time is up. I had a former student contact me about a year ago and say to me, please put my husband and I on your prayer list. She said, I know that you and your wife pray together. I know you pray together all the time. I know you have a prayer list. Please put my husband and I on your prayer list. Now, I don't remember how she knew we had a prayer. We probably talked about it sometime because she was a student of mine. We put them on our prayer list. And then what we do is when we get new people on the prayer list, we contact them. Send them an email, text, and say, we prayed for you this morning.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing about that. Not only is it a devotional life, but it's one that's focused on other people, not just focused on us.
Yeah.
It's like a ministry that we have now
Wow.
that we're joined together in. And it's not because we're perfect, but because we care about people. So I got the people I know, some people that we know jointly, a friend of hers, a friend of mine, they going on the list. We're making our joint interest for these people that are on our list. And we take time to go name by name. And our list is long now, so we don't do every name every day, but we do at least a page every day, name by name. We pray over the whole list. And the one page completely, we go name by name and call every name on that list.
Wow.
We try to keep the list short, but it always goes over 200, 250. We can't. We try to
No, we're at 300 right now.
The problem is once they get on, you feel guilty
Yeah, but
taking them off.
we're only praying for one page at a time now.
One page.
We can't
Right.
But you put them on, the problem gets solved, but you still feel guilty taking them off. So you
Right.
just leave them on the list. It's too long.
But you know what the prayer list does? And this is I'm just piggybacking on what Dad has just said to give you my point that for couples, and that is that prayer list, even when we are upset with each other, even if we're arguing, that prayer list kind of brings us back together. That prayer list is kind of our central place, where we can come, or we're praying for other people. What are we fussing about? First of all, when we're fussing, it's nothing most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's things that.
You're irritable about something.
Yeah, I didn't get enough sleep the night before. Or Dad didn't get. Oh, really?
Why are you always pulling the covers off? Why are you always pulling? Every time you tell me you're pulling the covers, I don't pull the covers off for you like that. Why are you always pulling the covers off?
I'm just saying.
That's the
Stuff like
argument.
that. Sorry for getting married, and you wouldn't believe we're waking up with these silly arguments. It's silly, and sometimes we just actually bust out laughing at
You
our
should.
arguments
You should.
because they're dumb.
This is one more thing about the prayer list. Yeah. When you get serious about it, We have a Africa section on our prayer list. The people that we know from Africa and we went to visit. We have an England section on our prayer list. People that asked us to pray for them when we visited England. We got all the names together, and Wolverhampton. We were in Wolverhampton that year. We got our Wolverhampton people. We got our Zambia people. People that asked us to pray over there, and we put them on our list, and they're still on our list.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got people on here asking to be added to the prayer list.
No, we take our prayer
I think
list
they're
seriously.
serious too.
It pulls us together.
And when we marry a couple, that couple always goes on.
Oh
What
yeah,
did they ask
they
for
stay
tonight?
on the list.
When we marry a couple, we've got a section of students we married on our prayer list. We put them all together on the list.
Wow.
College students that we married, we did the wedding, they're all right together on the list. We just go right down those names. So, and then it becomes interesting for us because it's like a project. And then, like I say, you can send an email one day and say, we prayed for you. We called your name this morning in prayer. And again, it just brings a whole nother element into your marriage because you're doing ministry together. It's a team thing.
It really
you're not focused on yourself as much.
You're not focused on yourself.
Yeah, it takes your mind off all those little things that, you don't want to still be fussing about, your husband not pulling up the toilet seat,
Right.
The toothpaste is all at the bottom. Those things still happen. Listen, they don't go away.
Right.
But then you say, you know what? That's
you left one crumb on the counter. There's one crumb on the counter. The whole counter's clean, but I found one crumb. I took my magnifying glass. I looked at it and there's a crumb right there.
I'm still mad at him because he needs to do better with that. But we'll be okay.
You should get some lighter granite and
it'll blend in.
Yeah, and lighter wood or something like that.
I call her Bin Laden. She's a crumb terrorist. She's a terrorist.
A crumb terrorist?
Bin Laden, yeah.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh man.
Well, I want to say thank you to you guys.
Yes, this is great.
Clearly on the scale of things, I owe you way more than you owe me. So there was no reason why you had to do this. So thank you for coming on. I believe, first of all, this has helped April and I tonight, and I know others have been touched and blessed. We got so many comments of people on here saying so many positive things about the things that you're sharing.
Yes, I have to put this up. So, Elephant in the Room, when is the spinoff of Just John and April? OGs, John Sr. and Giovanna. Tuesdays at 9.
Start it up, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait too late.
First of all, John knows, and April as well, that this is past 8 o'clock.
Right, mom's normally asleep.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's way too late.
9 o'clock start time. It'd have to be like 5 o'clock.
Right.
Everybody eating dinner, cooking, they can watch.
That's why I'm even more grateful because I know mom is sleepy, but she's wired right now. You must have drank.
I'm so proud of you, Mom.
You must have drank some non-admitted stuff tonight. Keep yourself awake. Oh man. Well,
we love you guys.
We do.
About coming on. Mm-hmm.
And
well, I'm glad.
We are so thankful for your wisdom.
We want to have you on again if you'll
Yes.
let it happen. I don't know when, but hopefully sometime soon. I'm sure people are going to be asking questions. In fact, maybe we'll just have something where people can ask questions of you guys. I'm sure they wanted to ask questions in the comments. We got some, and we were able to ask them, but
yes, and
more.
we just want to put a little a note out there that Dad has started a podcast called Hear Me Now.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Dad? Seriously.
It is so good.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the podcast and where people can find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an audio podcast, no video. It's a preaching podcast. And it's for professional clergy and not to. We have a lot of people and lay leaders that preach in churches where they got 3 churches with one pastor. He's never there, So it's also a thing for them where I teach preaching in the podcast. And I actually go through the 5-step process and write a sermon right on the podcast. And then after that, in fact, tomorrow, I'm finishing the sermon on John 3:16-17. Man, I got some good stuff. I did some research. I got some stuff I can't wait to share. But anyway, it's about teaching, preaching, biblical, how to preach from the Bible and be a biblical preacher that is Christ-centered. And a lot of our young pastors are interested in it. And so I'm taking the time to do that.
What's the name of it again?
Hear Me Now, the preaching podcast. So it's once a week. It's about 45 minutes long. I'm trying to take it too long. And usually it comes out on Thursdays.
And where can they find this?
Oh, it's on Anchor, it's on Spotify, it's on Google, whatever.
Google Play, I think it is.
Google Play. And I didn't have enough episodes to apply for iTunes. Is it Apple or iTunes?
It's
Apple,
Apple,
yeah.
whatever. Apple Podcast.
But
You
it'll
gotta have at least 3 episodes done before you can apply for that. So I have 3 now, so I'm going to try, because that's really the most popular podcast, is the Apple
Right.
one.
Mhm.
So
it'll be there
on
soon,
Apple,
but until then, they can get it on Spotify, or
Spotify.
they can follow your Facebook page probably too, and get the episodes
Yeah,
from the
that's
links
true.
or
It's
whatever.
on Facebook. It's a link
Yeah.
on Facebook.
yes,
Every once in a
it's
while,
really
I'll put a
good.
video clip on my Facebook page advertising what's coming up. I did a special on this Capitol thing last week. I was planning to do something else. When the Capitol thing broke, I did a special on that.
And it was
I turned it
excellent.
over for Thursday. I
It
put it
was,
right
it
out
was
on
excellent.
Thursday.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. He won't share it. He won't show me how
That
to
is
get
not
on.
true. That is not true. So we're gonna argue about this tonight. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
So I put it up on the
Somebody-
screen for people if they want to.
Okay.
You
And
just put it up.
Did you send that to me, John?
but
Oh.
also if you go to the comments, if you're in the comments right now watching this on our Facebook page, you should be able to click it and it'll take you there. Whereas if you're watching on YouTube, you have to just type that in. So
What
I'll
up,
leave it.
Claire?
Hey, Claire, yeah.
Oh, I'm
yo,
loving
look
your
at, look at this. Look at
haircut,
this. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And everyone is requesting that Claire come back on the show, so we shall have Claire back on as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, we gotta have Claire back too.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Somehow this family, people
I
like
know,
her.
I
don't What's
know.
going on? Yeah. Well, we love you
Okay,
guys.
thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, and
Thank you.
we'll see you
That
next
was fun.
week.
No.
We'll be on
I'm
next
ready.
week.
She gonna have to go to bed.
We'll see you.
Okay.
We'll see you
He
next
said they'll see us.
Oh, okay. So I won't see you. Okay. All right, guys.
All right.
Love
We
you.
never vote, by the way, because we can't choose. We never vote John or April. We just can't pick. So we just
Aw.
we stay up.
Well, you know
No,
what?
hold
You
on,
can
hold
you
on.
can give a laughy face and vote John and April.
That's
by
true.
The way.
That's true. You can both. If
You
you do the
Yes.
laugh face, you can
Yes.
both vote both John and April together. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, guys. See y'all next
See
time.
ya.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so technically this was not one of those kind of shows, but
You know, I would say if you feel like Mom said some things that really hit you,
yes,
then you need to be Team April.
yeah. And
You feel like
obviously,
Dad,
Team John is still Team John
But
because
both,
his name is John.
both,
You know what I'm saying?
you can go ahead and put let's see, Team April is
The heart.
the heart.
Right.
Team John's thumbs up.
Yes.
Team John and April is the laughy face.
Mhm.
Okay?
I just want to say that there were things that Mom and Dad shared tonight that I'd never heard before.
Same here.
And that was so
Same
good.
here.
That was
good.
really good.
But that's what happens when you had an OG couple
That's
on.
what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
OGs. The
I'm
thing
sorry.
the thing about them is stuff oozes out of them. They're not even trying. You know, when you first get married and somebody comes to you and says, you know, what's the greatest thing about marriage, or what's the one piece of advice, you try to sound all deep and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
You ain't got
yeah.
nothing to share. But when you've been there 45 years,
You
they
getting
could have said
real.
probably anything just now. We'd have been like, oh my goodness, that's so true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's
So
just
anyway.
beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it is. It is.
relationship goals right there.
For real.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Relationship goals right there.
We're very blessed to have them as an example.
Yeah, so I can call
Yeah.
Mom and be like, "What's up with this dude right here? Please tell me what is going on." She's my person.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we love you guys. We'll see y'all next week. We're going to be right here again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And
Yes.
we are still trying to have that part 2 of our Single and Fabulous. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it Wednesday, but all you have to do is if you go to our Facebook page, if you follow our Just John and April Facebook page, you'll be able to see when the new episode is coming out. I
Yes.
usually try to post it on Tuesday so that you know it's there. Or you'll at least know by Wednesday. but then you can just kind of keep up with what's going on and know and be ready for us. So
Yeah, guys. So if you're not following us, go do that now on
Yes, please.
Facebook and Instagram, and
Yeah.
and go ahead and subscribe
To our
on
YouTube channel. Yeah,
and
yeah.
watch out for our episodes on Friday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Friday usually afternoons when we post those. So we
Yeah,
got
don't give a
another one.
time, babe.
We got another one coming out. Yeah,
Don't
I
give
won't.
a time.
We got another one coming out this Friday you're gonna like. So anyway, again, we love you guys.
Thank
See
you,
y'all next
Lane.
week. And
I'm seeing a lot of hearts, babe.
yeah, that's because they like Mom, but it's not because of you.
Well,
it's not really
hey,
Team April.
I'm just saying we're connected on that. Okay.
All right, y'all. See y'all
All right,
next
guys.
week.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. Bye.
Bye.